Thanks for listening to Heartbeat from the Heart of Hospice. I'm Helen.
I knew it was going to happen someday. You're reading right off the script.
With over 50 million unpaid caregivers caring for loved ones across the United States, self-care has become an urgent need. We're wrapping up our self-care series today, helping you take care of body, mind, and spirit. You're listening to Heartbeat from the Heart of Hospice. I'm Jerry Fenter, here with Helen Bauer.
Whether you're a family caregiver or an end-of-life professional, we're here to enhance your hospice experience by connecting you with information you can use about end-of-life care. Because we know how busy life can get, Heartbeat is designed to give you helpful information in a bite-sized format.
Hi, this is Gabby Jimenez of the Hospice Heart. I'm excited to let you know about an upcoming series on the Heart of Hospice podcast. I'm partnering with Jerry and Helen at the Heart of Hospice to bring you a special 6-part series on grief. We'll be talking with industry experts Isabel Stencil and Lisa Paul of the Death Deck about common grief issues we're all dealing with. You'll hear information about when to seek professional help for your grief and how to navigate grief that seems to hang on for years. We're also going to discuss grieving for a loved one while you're a caregiver for someone else. There'll be tips for managing grief by journaling and how to comfort someone who is grieving. Isabel and Lisa will share insight into grief issues in children and young adults. Be sure to subscribe to the Heart of Hospice podcast so you don't miss this great series. And you can also connect with me at thehospiceheart.net. And remember, no matter who you are or where you are in your hospice journey, you are the heart of hospice.
Okay, this is a wrap.
It is. We're wrapping this up, this self-care series.
Wrapping it up and putting a bow on it. So here's what we know. There's over 50 million, they say 53 million people across the United States that are unpaid caregivers. And something else I also read about this is that there are a high percentage of those caregivers that are caring for more than one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you talk about overwhelm. That's got to be seriously hard.
That makes me feel stressed just thinking about it.
Doesn't it, though?
So if you're a hospice professional and you are caring for the caregivers, you've got a handful out there.
That's right.
Wow. So the isolation and stressors that have come with the pandemic have made the caregiver's job even more difficult and stressful.
I think so. And that means that self-care has become even more important.
So self-care is really all about preserving quality of life. We don't really talk about it that way. When we talk about hospice patients, serious illness, we always talk about enhancing quality of life for the patient, for the person with the serious illness. But the fact of the matter is, quality of life diminishes for the caregiver as well.
And we need to do what we can to maximize quality of life for that caregiver, because that caregiver is an essential part of the team, of the caregiving team for that particular patient. So it really ends up benefiting everybody for the caregiver to practice good self-care.
So you benefit the caregiver, take good care of the caregiver, and you're taking good care of the patient.
Exactly. So we want to give you some self-care tips that are just kind of general overall tips to keep in mind as you begin to build your self-care regimen.
The wrapping it up.
And there you go.
Okay. Make it affordable. You know me, I'm all about saving the money. $3.99 is my favorite price.
That's right.
Make it affordable, because if it's not affordable, you won't do it.
Right. Now, if you can afford it, if you can afford a $150 massage, more power to you.
Right. It's up to you to decide what affordable is for you.
Sure. But there's no reason to spend a lot of money if you don't need to.
Right. Make it attainable. This is the way I like to think about this. If you want to start an exercise regimen, we talked about this on the episode for self-care of the body. If you want to start an exercise regimen, don't make it your goal to run a marathon. You got to start out with something that's attainable for yourself, right? If you want to learn to play golf, if you want to be a golfer, and don't make it your goal to be in the PGA tour of whatever. I'm obviously not a golfer. If you have little ones at home. Don't make it your goal to take a 2.5-hour bubble bath every night because you're going to end up in the bathroom with a 2-year-old kicking the door.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not really attainable.
Right. So if you're a caregiver, then you need to consider your caregiving schedule. You need to consider what is affordable, but make it attainable. Make it something that's actually realistic.
And make it sustainable.
Yeah.
Self-care is never one and done. You can't go out there and do, walk for 30 minutes and that's it. My self-care is done for forever and ever. Right. I wish that were true. I wouldn't be going to the stinking gym every day. Self-care is an ongoing thing.
Right. So you want to do something that's fun because if it's fun, you're more than likely to do it again. So that's our next tip. Make it fun.
Make it fun. Absolutely.
Yeah, why does self-care have to be hard and difficult and, just yuck?
Like drinking castor oil. It's supposed to be fun. Whether it's mind, body, or spirit self-care, it should be something enjoyable. I think that goes right back to make it sustainable. Because if it's not fun, if you really don't enjoy it, you're probably not going to keep it going anyway, so it's not sustainable.
Right. So here's another way to make it sustainable, and that is include an accountability partner. Go walk with someone. Go to the gym with someone. Exercise with someone. Have another person to do this with you so it's more fun and more enjoyable.
Share a gratitude habit with someone. Share a gratitude list. I'll text my gratitude list for the day to you, and you text one to me.
Exactly. And wouldn't it be great to do a gratitude list every day?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here's another tip. Make it healthy. There's a lot of things that you could do to take care of yourself. Not all of them are healthy. And the reason we know is
we've
done them all.
Done a lot of the unhealthy stuff.
We absolutely have. Ice cream is one of my favorite things.
Yeah. I sort of gave up ice cream a long time ago because I was eating ice cream every night before bed.
Oh, not a healthy self-care regimen.
First of all, something very unhealthy to eat and a very unhealthy time to be eating it too. Mm-hmm. So,
and those donut sticks you used to eat all the time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You take the fifth, don't want to incriminate yourself.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So make it healthy, make it safe, make it something that's actually good for you. And then once you get these healthy habits in place, be ready to change them.
Why?
Because as a caregiver, the person you are caring for, your loved one, your friend, can change.
Things can change quickly.
Abilities, exacerbations of disease processes, hospitalizations, that roller coaster of care, the trajectory that can often become a roller coaster for a caregiver. It's a challenge.
Right.
You may end up as a caregiver. You may start as a caregiver for one person and become a caregiver for two.
One of the reasons we're doing this is because we don't want the caregiver to need a caregiver.
Exactly. So be ready to pivot, knowing that maybe your exercise regimen isn't going to work for that day, or you have to do your meditation at a different time of day. There's a physical therapist coming, or there's a physical therapy appointment. The hospice team is coming, etc. Be willing to change and be ready for that. So be open-minded. Be open-minded about the flexibility and what you're doing. And if there's an activity you want to stop it. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't help you, you don't like it, maybe your ability to do it was not what you thought it would be, it's okay to stop those things.
Sure. But then be creative and find some things that do work for you. Be open to new ideas, new suggestions. Look up what other caregivers are doing. In fact, if you're a part of a caregiving group, it might be good to poll them and find out from them what are some of the things that they do. Or if maybe you're a part of an Alzheimer's group, if your patient is one who has Alzheimer's, and there's honestly groups out there for many of these diseases. So become a part of those groups. In fact, they have caregiving groups for those diseases as well.
Yes.
Be a part of some of those caregiving groups, and you can find out from others who are in the same situation that you're in, what do they do to help promote their good, healthy self-care.
So that's our wrap up for our self-care series. We would remind you, above all else, when it comes to self-care for the caregiver, self-care of body, mind, and spirit, offer yourself grace, knowing that the work that you do is hard. And if you're a hospice professional, share this information with the caregivers that you are caring for in turn.
Thanks for listening to Heartbeat from the Heart of Hospice. I'm Jerry Fenter here with Helen Bauer. Because we know your hospice journey is 24/7, you can always find us at theheartofhospice.com. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening and leave a rating or a review on Apple Podcasts.
To connect with us, you can send an email to host@theheartofhospice.com. You can also find us on social media. And remember, no matter who you are or where you are in your hospice journey, you are the heart of hospice.